David had always believed in the little joys of life. He wasn't wealthy, but his job as a cashier at the local bakery gave him a sense of purpose. Every morning, he welcomed customers with a smile, but today something different was about to happen.
Here you go, Mr. Johnson, your usual loaf of rye bread. Have a great day.
A frail, elderly homeless man, Robert, enters. His clothes are tattered and his face is weathered from years on the streets. He hesitates, standing near the entrance. Robert hadn't stepped into a bakery in years. For him, even the smell of fresh bread was a luxury.
Robert's eyes scan the shelves of bread, pastries, and cakes. He takes a deep breath, savoring the smell, but doesn't approach the counter.
Hi there. Can I help you with anything?
Robert looks startled and fumbles with his words.
I'm just looking.
David noticed the way his hands trembled and how he avoided eye contact. He could tell he wasn't just looking, he was hungry.
David steps out from behind the counter with a loaf of freshly baked bread in his hand.
Here. This one's on the house. No charge.
Robert looks at him, confused and overwhelmed.
Why would you do this for me?
Everyone deserves a warm meal. Take it, please.
Robert hesitates, but eventually takes the bread, clutching it tightly as tears well up in his eyes. After Robert leaves, David returns to his work. The bakery owner, Mr. Perkins, notices what happened and pulls him aside.
David, I saw what you did. You can't just give away food for free. This is a business.
I know, but he looked like he hadn't eaten in days. It was just one loaf.
One loaf here, one loaf there. It adds up. Be careful, David. We're not a charity.
David sighs, returning to his work. He looks out the window, hoping he did the right thing. David didn't have much himself. He lived paycheck to paycheck, often skipping meals to make ends meet. But he believed kindness was worth more than money. A week later, David is working another quiet shift. The bell jingles and he looks up to see Robert again, but this time he's different. He's clean-shaven, wearing a fresh set of clothes, and carrying a small bag.
Robert? Is that you?
Yeah, it's me. I wanted to thank you for what you did.
You didn't have to do that. I'm just glad you're okay.
Robert places the bag on the counter and pushes it toward David.
I found a job at the shelter down the street. They took me in, gave me a place to stay, and now I'm working in their kitchen. I brought you something to say thanks.
David opens the bag to find a small loaf of homemade bread and a handwritten note that says, "Kindness changes everything."
As weeks go by, David notices more people coming into the bakery, many of them from the local shelter. They tell him how Robert has been spreading the word about his kindness. David starts a small initiative, setting aside day-old bread to donate to the shelter. Soon, the community begins to notice. David's small act of kindness had created a ripple effect. People from all over the neighborhood began donating food, clothes, and money to the shelter. The bakery became a hub for giving back. One day, Mr. Perkins notices the line of customers waiting outside the bakery. He approaches David, curious.
What's going on here?
People heard about what we're doing for the shelter. They want to help.
Mr. Perkins had always been focused on profits, but seeing the impact of David's kindness made him reconsider.
You know what? Let's make it official. From now on, 10% of our sales will go toward the shelter.
David beams with pride as the bakery becomes a symbol of hope for the community. Months later, Robert walks into the bakery again, this time with a young man who looks just as lost as he once did.
This is Jacob. He's new at the shelter and could use some help.
David smiles and hands Jacob a loaf of bread.
Here you go, Jacob. Everyone deserves a warm meal.
And so, the cycle of kindness continued, because sometimes a single loaf of bread is all it takes to change the world.